Live from Columbus, Ohio, it's Motown DownTown!
Motown DownTown, come on down to Motown DownTown.
Today's guest, Best Buds.
Come on down to Motown DownTown.
My name is Tyson Bruno, and here's your host, Mo Chocolate.
Come on down to Motown DownTown.
What is up, everybody? How's it going? My name is Mo Chocolate, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Motown DownTown, where we are here to make sure that you have a wonderful time and the greatest time. That's right. So before the show begins, I want to make it clear right now that this is going to be the mid-season finale, which means that the entire month of July we're going to take a break, but then everything will come swinging back in August. We will see you then in August, yes. But we have a very special guest in the house tonight. For the first time in Motown DownTown history, we have not one, not two, but 4 guests. Drum roll, please. All the way from YouTube with a massive amount of subscribers and followers and viewers, and now on Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, put your hands together for the one, the only, the members of the Best Spuds!
I'm not late.
Nope.
What's
You're not
up?
late, you mean?
What's up,
What's
everyone?
up?
How's it going?
How we doing?
Hey,
How
Mo.
about you?
Excellent. Thank you for coming. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come here to Motown DownTown, the very last guest for the month of July, and I had to make it big, and I chose y'all. Thank you all so very much. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the last-minute phone call saying that you were desperate because your original guests couldn't make it.
Yep. All your friends
Heavily
came.
appreciated.
The holiday weekend. I get it. But we're happy to be here.
But yes,
It's an honor.
so before we start the show, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience. So for anybody here who does not know who you are, go ahead and say hi to the audience. In any order
I
you
guess I'm
want.
Yeah, I forgot the order. I'm real good at what we do.
You go
So
first.
I'm you.
Jesus.
I'm the editor of Best Buds and one of the people who does it.
Great.
I don't know where to look. I'm looking at my camera, but I feel like I'm
look
looking
right
off to the
look
side.
right into your camera. It's fine.
That was Nick. I'm Dan. I do Instagram and sometimes TikTok if I feel motivated, and I have cats, and that's all I'm good for.
I'm Laura. I show up sometimes. I
Sometimes.
tweet, and I'm always on Discord. Always.
And I'm Kyle. I am also in the videos, and I do all the setting up of things on the YouTube side.
Nice. We got a whole band here. Awesome sauce. So my first question for everyone here is, how did you get into video games? Like, what's your earliest memory with games? Were you team PlayStation, team Nintendo, team Sega, all that jazz?
I'd probably say Team Nintendo. You're gonna like this one, Mo. One of our favorite ones that you like. You remember Stupid Mousewife?
I do.
Of course. So that was actually the first game I ever played for Sega Genesis. And then I wound up, and my cousin had a Super Nintendo, so I played it on that. Then we got a Genesis way later, and I started out as Sega, and then went to Nintendo, and we had like a weird period of Xbox. We don't talk about that. Then I went to PlayStation, and now I'm on PC. So, in 10 years, it'll probably be Oculus, but whatever.
Kyle and I'm speaking for myself, but some of it will be regurgitated with him as well. We grew up on the NES and Sega Genesis, and then as we got older and invested in our own consoles, I kind of branched off into PlayStation and GameCube, and I don't think we had an Xbox in our house until
Ever.
very, very long time, but most of our childhood was NES and Sega Genesis. Our oldest brother and our father played a lot with us too, so video games have been in our lives basically forever.
Okay.
Yeah, I started young also. I had a neighbor when I was like 6 or 7, and she had a Sega Genesis, with Crystal's ponytail on it. And that made me so jealous. And I begged my mom to get me that for Christmas. And she got me the Genesis, but she got me a Genesis with Sonic. I hated it. And then my dad also got me a pity Game Boy, like the year after, when I was sick. And it just snowballed from there. I worked at GameStop, spent all my money on video games. We have a PC now, PS5, all that good stuff. So it's never not.
Nice.
And my tale is obviously very similar to Daniel's, as we grew up together. But the majority of our gameplay was together, us and our oldest brother. And video games were very important to me because I spent the majority of my young life grounded. And while I was grounded, I had like a Game Boy Pocket hidden in like several rooms of my house. So no matter where I was, I could kind of sneak in some Pokemon time, no matter where I was. So without that, I would have been very, very bored.
Nice. Well, good job being a bad boy, so you can learn to love games. Nice. So
he was bad. He was the worst.
The next question.
He's a bad boy.
Bad boy. That's why you got that painting in the background, Kyle, for being a bad boy. You were secretly Majora's Mask this whole time. But my next question is, what do you guys have a favorite game or favorite console?
Dreamcast.
Nice.
I've been thinking about this question for a long time because I think Sega Genesis was most of my memories for my childhood, but I think I'm going with Switch.
Nice.
I feel like bringing things on the go and just I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I love all things Nintendo, but I don't know. I love the Switch. So I might go Switch.
I think that's fair. The Nintendo handhelds are so good. So I think mine's either the DS or 3DS. Probably 3DS because the whole DS library can go on.
Yeah.
That's fair. It's a really tough question for me. So my favorite might be the Game Boy Advance, just because of, well, the story I told earlier. I played a lot of Game Boy Advance because they're easy to stash places. But if I had to pick between like a home console, I'd probably go with the PS2, just by sheer volume of time I spent, either playing PS1 or PS2 games on it.
Could not agree more.
Just a giant library, and kind of you can get whatever you're looking for from your PS2. So that's always been my choice.
Nice. So the next question is something I've actually always wondered about the best buds as a group. How did everyone here meet? How did the stars align and form the epicness that is the best buds? Tell us the origin of best buds. Go.
So you want the origin of best buds or how we met first? Because those are two separate stories.
Well, all of the above, my friend.
All right. Well, I'll start with how I met these nerds at least. One was the one was the most memorable. I said it right. Where one time we were in high school and I saw her on her way out in the middle of the day, and she was like, "Yo, we're skipping class to go get bagel man. Do you want to come get bagels?" And I was like, "I'm good," being good boy that I was. But that was the first time I met Laura.
Mm-hmm.
As for Dan and Kyle, I met Dan. I don't know if he was working at GameStop, but I remember we had a party in his basement. I think that was the first time I ever formally met him. Your parents' house.
Yeah, you were
at the same time.
I was working at GameStop, and I think you were at your store.
And at the time, Dan was dating Laura, so they're
kind
of
yeah,
like,
that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Laura's like, "Here's my friend Nick. You're stuck with him too now."
Pretty much.
Yeah,
And
that's kind of how she introduces me to everybody.
Yep, and I pushed Laura into Kyle's room and closed the door and said, "All right, now don't come out until you're friends."
No, our first real conversation with Laura, apart from me just randomly deciding that she was my friend, our first like bonding experience is when I left my room and she was just laying on the floor in my hallway, and I spent a good 20 minutes teaching her to go, which is a skill that she's mastered and uses to this day.
Constantly.
And I met Kyle. Oh man, must have been
probably when I popped out of mom. I would think,
32 years ago or so, I'd say.
Yeah, it's all been downhill.
You're 32, Kyle? Jesus, you're old.
My mom threw him on my lap and said, "He's your responsibility now."
Yep. Dan's a single mom.
I am.
Yeah.
So then, okay, so you all met. So how did Best Buds become a thing? Like, did you have other nicknames? And who decided, hey guys, let's do a YouTube video, a Let's Play channel? How was the steps of that?
Nick and
Well,
Laura, take it
That
away.
one I think was more me.
Mm-hmm. It was all like,
I kind of just roped them into it. Originally, we were going to call it Retail Rejects because all of us, except for Kyle, worked retail. But then we were like, how is anyone going to get that? And I'm probably just misremembering this, but I think I wanted to call the channel Best Buds, but I don't talk very clearly sometimes.
Well,
So-
like most good decisions, they started with a conversation over ice cream. So I
Correct.
went out for ice cream, and I think you were misheard when you said Best Buds. And our
Yes.
our fifth
Best
member at the time,
Buds.
Sam, who still helps with our channel and still does the majority of our art and things like that,
Awesome.
had like a notebook and was writing down the things we were saying, even though we were only like half serious. And then
Well,
I think we were just like, yeah, why not give it a shot? Whatever.
Every other word was a naughty word, so she had to censor us a lot.
It's true.
it was fun.
Especially in the opening episodes, there was a lot of censors. You wouldn't notice them though, because I just got them out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dan.
So yeah, we started
Daniel.
like playing games together a lot, Mo, and I think the name just kind of just stuck one night. We're like, yep, that's it, and that was it.
Nice. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, the origins of Best Buds, a Motown DownTown exclusive. You're welcome. So yes, so you guys met. Best Buds is now created. So what were the early years like as the new YouTuber kids on the, because it is oversaturated with Let's Play channels at the time. So what did you guys do to stand out above the crowd, if you will?
May
We
I take
didn't.
this one?
Oh, sure, go on.
So when we first started the channel, our original intention was just, hey, we're playing video games with friends. We don't care if we make money, we get subscribers or viewers. We always used to make a joke that our only viewer and subscriber was Laura's mom. But
Still is.
we do it for fun. So everything that happens after that is just natural. But we started the channel with the most high-tech technology you could think of. So we were at an advantage when we first started. We were using a Microsoft wireless 360 headset pushed into a shoebox.
For real?
Yes.
No,
Okay,
No,
go ahead,
it's worse
Nick.
than that.
it was the Samsung Go mic, Daniel.
The
Yeah.
Samsung Go mic thrown into a shoebox with was it a pantyhose in front of it?
Yeah. For a pop
Yes,
filter.
but
What?
the important part was that our tiny mic was held up by, of course, all game fans will know,
This
a Rob the
little guy.
Robot, which stands for
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah,
And we had
that's
it dangling from a Rob the Robot, who was our mic stand.
Oh, it's backwards.
That is
This was the
impressive.
first microphone that we used.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's impressive. That is a piece of history right there. So preserve that, Nick.
That's
Yeah.
why I
It's
kept.
history, yeah.
Case it.
Laura told him to
you-
dip it in lacquer and throw it on his
Yeah,
wall.
keep the carrying case.
That's awesome. Yeah. So like when you first started the show, when did you start seeing the numbers go up? Would you say?
So
Monster Prom. Oh,
No.
sorry, Laura.
Well,
go on.
before that, there was one step before that. Laura, go ahead.
Oh,
I was
true.
gonna say, I remember we did a lot of like begging our friends and crowdsourcing and asking for retweets and stuff. And the first day, the first episode came out, I think we hit 100 subscribers.
Nice.
Really
Nice.
cool to see because like we didn't think anybody would care. We didn't think it would go anywhere. We thought our friends would just be like, "That's nice." But we had some real support in the beginning, which felt good. I think
And we also got pretty lucky because one of the earlier things we did was a demo of a game that no one really heard of at the time called Undertale, which everyone now knows. But even though we were a total like nobody YouTube channel, I believe it was Nick who found it first. I could be wrong. But Nick
No,
suggested
one of my online friends told me about it.
Nick suggested we just play this demo, and no one else had put it out yet. So even though we were a total like nobody channel, we got a surprisingly massive amount of hits
Nice.
on the demo for Undertale. So that was kind of the first thing. But then the real boom came with Monster Prom, and you can take that one away, Nikki.
Oh yeah, no, that was just kind of where it went. Monster Prom was like people loved hearing our dumb, funny voices, and we were just like, well, I mean, I wanted to grow up to be a voice actor. That's still kind of one of my big goals.
I can see that for sure. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. So like, okay, so you have like your first big hit, everything's going well. How do you decide what game to play next for the show? Like, is there a voting process? Or you're just like, let's play this. Okay, sure. Like, how does the process work?
We have a whiteboard where we've written everything down day by day. It is very, very particularly curated, and if we stray away from the whiteboard, we close the channel.
That's true. I have to apologize too. I have sunscreen in my eyes, so I'm going to be crying this whole time. But yes.
So, for reference and why we're laughing at the whiteboard, we had attempted to make a plan on the whiteboard for like the games that we had to play, maybe like 5 years ago, and everything that was written there originally is still there and won't erase anymore because we haven't touched the whiteboard in like 5 years.
Wow.
So it still just says a bunch of stuff that we did forever ago, and we can't even erase it. It's just stuck up there now.
Yeah, we'd have to get acetone to get it off the board.
That's pretty funny. I mean, is that why we haven't seen Cuphead in a while? Is that why?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's because I got so mad I broke one of the controllers.
Cuphead was fun. But in all seriousness, though, Mo, we have a lot of things that we've talked about that we wanted to play for a long time. Like, we get really excited when like a new Nintendo game comes out and we want to try to play it first before a lot of other people do. But once we got rolling with things like Undertale and Monster Prom, we started to kind of look up the genre and see what's out there and try to experiment with things that are similar, just because we're comfortable with the voice acting, we're comfortable with the game styles. So a lot of the stuff that we tried to do, at least before it breaks, is kind of like that niche little indie market.
Okay.
It's what our audience is into, so we try and steer to that. We try and get audience feedback.
And that's good because that's what got you your first massive big video on YouTube was the indie scene.
Yep,
That's
and we
awesome.
also we have our on our Discord we have game recommendations as well. So when people are like, "You need to play this now," then we play.
So tell us how you decide to go into to a live streaming. Because for the longest time, you guys were on YouTube. So what was the deciding factor that got you to go live on Twitch for the very first time?
About that. So, are you familiar with the Fire Nation attacks of 2020, Mo?
I do, yeah, I do.
Yes. So when Corona happened, we all decided it would be safer if we stayed in our respective houses.
Yeah.
So we decided it was at that time we should probably switch to a streaming format. And we were enjoying it. Like, we did a couple Twitch streams before that. Usually we just did a couple charity streams. Holidays, we did streams, horror games. But we usually saved it for stuff like that. And then we were just like, all right, since we can't record on Mondays anymore, we're going to stream on Mondays. So we kept that going for about a year. And then Laura, if I recall, got a job where she worked at night, so she wasn't able to join us on Mondays most of the time. And then we switched it to Thursdays after a couple years because we realized we wanted to go back to recording once things were a little safer. And now we're recording on Mondays and we stream on Thursdays. But then he left, we're going to try to stream a little bit more in the future. Now that Dan has a working computer, Laura has a working computer, Kyle has a computer. So, you know, yeah.
Okay, so continuing with the Twitch streaming now, what would you say was the one game that was the best streaming experience and the one game that was the worst streaming experience? Go.
Yeah, that's thought process.
I think. Go ahead, Laura.
Really
I know the best one.
When it was Monster Prom again, when they were giving us the codes and the keys, we had
Nice.
really good attention, we had great viewership, we had great interaction, and people fucking love Monster Prom. So, worst?
I was going to say Sam and Max was probably one of our favorite streams, at least my favorite stream.
Yeah, those are good.
I was just having a lot of fun with that.
We also tend to do pretty well with games that make us uncomfortable. So we streamed Outlast, and
Nice.
I was struggling because I thought it was too scary and very difficult playing on my keyboard. And people seemed to eat it up that I was miserable and I was at home by myself, and everyone else was like, "Oh yeah, have fun, bye."
One of our best clips from that was actually Mo. So I think he did a donation and it was like a perfectly timed bit donation right when there was like a jump scare, and it was like so perfectly timed that someone clipped it, and it's fantastic.
Yes.
I think you guys.
It was all part. It was all part of my plan. It really was.
And since
If I can add one more.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go on, Kyle. You were telling me.
No, I was gonna say since you all talked about best streaming experience. I'll go with the worst streaming experience because no one answered that. And this one's personal. Because I'm often in charge of the Pokemon streams because I'm the Pokemon guy.
Yeah.
So during one of our streams that we actually had a good amount of people there for while I was quarterbacking it, we got about, I want to say 2.5 hours into the stream, and I was like super into it because it was like a serious Nuzlocke. I was like super locked in.
Yeah.
And then after like 2.5 hours, people realized that everyone present was talking to nobody because I was muted the entire stream, even though I was the one running it, and no one realized it until like 2.5 hours in. And it was
someone was like, "Who are you guys talking to?" And we're like, "To Kyle." And they're like, "We can't hear him." And I was like, "Oh, we need to learn how to do quality checks."
He was so mad. It was so funny though.
I was so pissed. Well, because we had another streamer like pop in and do a raid on us, which was great. And I was like interacting with them and thanking all the people who showed up.
Thank you
and
for
like
that,
making
Ninja.
conversation with them, and nobody said anything. So I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, why are they not responding at all? Because they couldn't hear me because I was muted. So furious.
At least you know now for the future, Kyle. You learned a lesson. That's what's important.
Nick, you had something to add?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say Doki Doki Literature Club because we tried streaming it twice and we didn't get to any of the scary shit because we lost our data once.
Yeah.
And then the next year we tried streaming it again because everyone was like, "We really want you guys to play this game." Because, again, they like when I do horror games because I am less than courageous.
Baby.
As some people would say, "You baby, I'm a baby."
Well, that's fine though. So like, I also want to know. So when you first went live on Twitch compared to now, has your equipment upgraded? Like better mics, better software, all that stuff.
Software is the same. The microphones have been upgraded between my house and Dan's. Kyle got his off Wish, and Laura uses her phone.
Mine's just my laptop. I get off Wish. Get out of here.
So your laptop is from Wish.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it is.
The microphone. Yeah.
Yeah, and
But he wishes it was from Wish. His laptop's from AliExpress.
Generally, at this time too, like if there's something that we need for the channel that will be beneficial, we thankfully have an account now for our show and our company where we can afford to get ourselves something nice as well. So that definitely helps.
Occasionally.
Nick's been
Till front office
visiting us
Right.
for a stream deck for years, and we keep denying.
I have one. I borrowed it.
From
Yeah.
me.
We don't need it, do we?
I need this beautiful, beautiful item, okay?
I agree. It's really good. It's what I use.
Cool.
Ask
like
Nick
to-
how
Nick
much-
really, really, really needs to be able to make himself have a robot voice in the middle of our stream.
Correct.
Without it, our channel's done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd like to thank our sponsors at Steam for that. Or whoever.
This is Elgato, Daniel.
Yeah, I said Elgato.
Oh, my mistake.
I don't even remember who gave that to me, to be honest with you. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
It's funny, Nick, because I have the standard deck. You have the like big Mama's house deck, so I'm jealous of that for real. So like,
Well, Dan actually got this for working with kids in an esports team.
Yes, I coach esports, and some of our sponsors were like, "Hey, here's a bunch of cool stuff for you." So,
I'm jealous.
HyperX sent us a giant box of keyboards and headsets and mice, and they're like, "Wait, if you want to stream this stuff, you can do that too." And then we didn't get approval for it, so I just babysat it until we need it for something.
Alrighty. Now, was there any discussion on going to YouTube streaming, or was it primarily Twitch streaming that you guys wanted to go for?
So originally, we actually simul-streamed between both. We had it running the same. We were doing both at the same time.
Okay.
But
Cool.
once we had enough momentum on Twitch, where we could, get to, actually get paid for it. Twitch has the exclusivity clause where, if you stream something on Twitch, you can't put it on any other platforms for 48 hours.
Yeah.
So we decided for streams, we were going to stick with Twitch. And for recordings, we were going to stick with YouTube. And so far that's worked. We've been able to juggle both platforms. And going forward, I think that's what we're going to stick with. We're going to try.
Mhm.
We're going to try our best to be more active on Twitch, like Nick said.
All right.
But really, getting the four of us to schedule up is a little difficult sometimes, especially because we don't live all that locally to each other anymore.
Right. I think one of the good parts about our channel too is that like we have been friends for so long that it's easy to just do something together. And we all have full-time jobs, so we try to get together one time during the week to film a bunch of stuff, and then we can do Twitch virtually, so we can all just kind of decompress during the week and do our own thing. So it's a lot, but it's fun.
I like it. Yeah. So so here on the channel, we are all big fans of Super Smash Bros. Are you guys fans of the Smash Bros?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dog.
I'll take the dog as yes. But yes.
Sakura says yes.
My next question, my question regarding that is, unless your dog wants to be a guest too, that's fine by me.
Oh, she'll never shut up. Don't worry, I got it.
But my next question was, if you guys were in charge of the next character for Smash Bros, who would it be and why?
Go ahead, Laura. This is your moment.
No, it's Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia. He needs to be in the game and not his stupid me outfit. It's criminal. Joker's there, but not Lloyd. That's trash. Trash.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Laura's been fighting for that one for so many years.
So long. So
Good
long.
question.
Nicholas?
Daniel?
He's raging right now.
I figured we wouldn't ask Nick because he's currently in an earthquake.
He is.
Yeah, it's funny though.
Man, that's a great question. I feel like if they could get the licensing for it, which shouldn't be too difficult, I would add Knuckles because of the memes and the popularity.
Yes.
I feel like he would be a super, super powerful character.
Yes.
And like old school, Sonic and video game fans would be like, oh, sick, Knuckles from Sonic. And the new people would be like, oh, Knuckles, the do you know the way guy, But I feel like
No one says that.
Dog. You know what I mean. But I feel like that would be probably a good one to add.
Hi, dog.
Aw.
She's an old dog. She's 16.
Where's her face?
It is obscured by the one light I have in my room.
Ladies and gentlemen, our very first dog on Motown Downtown. Another fascinating highlight for the show. Quite
Nick,
literally.
who you got for Smash?
They already added Isabel, so I'm already. I don't know. There's so many different characters they could add to Smash, but I'm fairly happy with the roster. I mean, I would love Waluigi to be there.
Agreed.
Mostly just because he's a vulgar piece of shit, and that's my speed.
Fair.
Your lesson, Kyle.
If we're playing the fantasy pick whoever you want from anywhere game, I would have to choose my favorite character from my favorite game, which is Lavitz from The Legend of Dragoon. For any cultural people who love Legend of Dragoon, good on you. It's just better Final Fantasy VII. But he's adorable. He's the best. He's a big old mama's boy, and he's just a big old moosh, and he's fantastic. I would love to see him in there with all sorts of spears and plant-based stuff. It'd be very cool. And dragons. Who doesn't want dragons?
Dragon.
See?
Well, do you guys have a favorite and least favorite reveal from Smash Bros?
Piranha Plant.
As what?
Just in general, when they revealed Piranha Plant, it just felt like such a block. The character itself played really cool. However, it was just so
like a
it's
joke
just
character.
So upsetting. That was their first big character, and you could have had anyone else aside from the already amazing roster they had. And they're like, Piranha Plant. That's the one. That's what you get.
So
They just did that with a straight face.
for me,
They had to work in the license for Piranha Plant. You own that. The fuck? Sorry, go on.
So for me, it's kind of hard because I'm not a super, super, super big Smash guy. But as someone who works in a high school, all of my kids watch the Nintendo Directs in school, so they always run around talking about them. So kind of they depreciate in excitement for me. But I have to admit that when I heard the rumors that Isabel was coming, as someone who loves Animal Crossing, I was like, all right, I'm in. This is going to be good. And then, I kind of cried and tinkled a little bit when they announced her. Laura?
Yeah.
I suspect Laura and mine are the same.
I know who you're gonna pick, but mine's a little different because
Okay.
I got really excited for Snake.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay. Fair
That was
enough.
so good. But I think the most disappointing is, I don't know, whatever last Fire Emblem character they added.
They don't
Because I am of the opinion that they have a few too many.
I agree.
There are
I
a lot,
could not
aren't there?
agree more. And Nikki disappeared. But nah, for me,
He's gone. We don't need him.
it was Sora. Sora day one. When they announced Sora for Smash Bros, my room was destroyed for real.
I'm sure it was. I probably could hear you from where we
Yeah,
live.
the entire world just stood and stopped in time to hear me. A sound wave came from me, and that's what
You
happened.
posted
But
your reaction, didn't you?
on YouTube, yes, it did
Yeah, I remember
pretty
seeing
well.
it.
Yeah, the
The
shirt
link
came.
is like,
As soon as I saw it, I
the
knew that I
link
had to
is
check
like
out for your
the link
reaction.
is down here. Yeah, check out that
the
link.
shirt came off and everything. It was too
Oh, boy.
much hype to contain. But the least favorite was the Minecraft character. I'm sorry, it's just nah. I'm not a Minecraft fan. I understand it's the biggest game of all time, Minecraft, but for me, I just wasn't a fan.
Yeah, but Minecraft, you're supposed to make the character after you. No one even uses Steve. They all have custom icons that they bought off the DeviantArt.
Ugh. That's fair. Kyle, I know who you're doing.
Yeah, my favorite reveal. I mean, I usually don't go for DLC characters, but
Dr.
I
Mario.
did a little bit of it. I didn't hear what you said. What?
Dr. Mario.
I love Dr. Mario. Fun fact:
Yeah.
my original YouTube name for my personal account was Mockter Dario because I used to play as Dr.
Oh,
Mario.
that's good.
It's a thing. But my favorite DLC character reveal was actually Joker. I was so jacked up to see any Persona representation in Smash because I'm a Shin Megami Tensei person.
Nice.
But I was very excited just to see Joker. Like even if I wasn't gonna play as him, I was just so happy to see that happen and that kind of come into mainstream so people would know what it was. But I was really mad at the timing because about a week before that happened, I went to a Halloween party dressed as Joker and nobody at all knew who I was. And then that reveal came out like a week later, and I was so pissed off. It was like a whole party of people being like, "Oh, are you the Phantom of the Opera?" I was like, "No,
You were Joker that year?
shut up,
Yeah, from Batman.
get out of here,
When
Nick."
we had the Halloween stream, is that where you were?
Yes, you know this.
I thought you were just a trench coat guy.
Can you mute him, Mo? Can you mute him?
No can do. But yes, so moving away from Smash Bros, my next series of questions is for you guys individually. Like I have a question for Dan, Kyle, and Nick and Laura. So we're gonna go with Dan first. Dan, what is your absolute favorite Spuds moment and your least favorite Spuds moment?
All right. So, I have two that I was thinking about for best Spuds moment, but I think one of them was our first charity stream when we threw out like a specific number we were trying to raise, and just having the community come together and just like make it happen right away, and then it just kept going and going. It was really fulfilling to see everyone in our our community doing that and working together to accomplish that goal.
Mhm.
And then my other big time favorite moment, and these guys, I think I call them immediately when it happened, but I go to a lot of conventions to promote. The first time somebody came up and recognized me and the sign and like best Spuds and started like immediately talking about the channel. And then obviously it turned into like, oh, the girl that's funny, and then people started asking about Laura all the time. But the first time someone actually recognized the sign and were able to like chat about it, that was it for me. It was cool.
Nice. That's a good feeling, buddy. That's awesome when people recognize you for real.
Yeah, least favorite Spuds moment. I don't know. We've had some ups and downs, and some of them we don't really want to talk about on the on the live here. And these guys are smiling because they already know what I'm thinking in my brain. But I think the frustration when we get really, really excited to do either a Twitch stream or a recording, that we've been planning for a while, and then it just either breaks, doesn't load, or doesn't work.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times we've been looking forward to something all week, and then it just shits the bed, and we're just like, well, this sucks. And it's deflating, but, obviously we figure it out and do something else. But being able to look forward to something for so long and then just have it not work sucks. And I'm sure you've had that happen too.
Oh, yes. Episode 1 of Motown was a technical mess, but we managed to get through. So the next question is for Kyle. Kyle, if you could describe Best Buds to a stranger, what would you say?
Oh boy. I mean, I would ask if they like video games and they want to see a bunch of people who will use absolutely not safe for work language, yell at each other as we try and get through them. If you want to watch a bunch of idiots not complete anything basically ever, but call each other cunts as they do it, then we're your people. Yeah, Nick just felt bad because he was trying to see how deep into this interview we get before someone said it, and I'm just gonna say it because this is Motown DownTown, baby. We can say what we want.
Right.
That's true. I will say this though, as a lifelong fan of y'all, I've actually never heard you guys call anyone a cunt. Just saying. So
you haven't watched enough episodes.
I guess I'm a fake fan then. Yes. But so the next question is for Nick. Nick, what is the most disgusting moment on Best Buds?
Anytime with Nick.
Every Monday night. Sorry.
Well, Kyle and Dan like Taco Bell a lot.
I know where this is going.
I don't want to get too visual, but there have been some times where we shared a lovely meal together. And there might have been a couple times where Dan or Kyle may have gotten either food poisoning or rumbly-tumbly, as we call it in the medical world. Mostly Kyle.
Hi. I missed 3 consecutive episodes because I was vomiting.
There was one series. It might not come out because of that. But I still have it. Still safe. But there's just one specific series where the first episode he's like, I'm not feeling great. I might get up in the middle, just scat while I'm gone. Pun intended. And we're like, okay, man, whatever, that's fine. So literally 30 seconds into the first episode, he gets up and he's just, nope. He straight up says nope and just leaves. We stop recording after about 30 minutes. We have the full episode. He comes back. The look on his face is absolute discontent. Like he looks like he just was told some awful news while in the upstairs bathroom.
The awful news was that the McRib came back.
Correct.
And then it came back, and then it came back, and then it came back.
Correct.
Wow.
So then we started episode 2 with him. He lasted about 2 minutes, and then he didn't come back down until we had completed episode 3.
It was at least an hour, I'd say. Yeah, it was a while.
That's funny. That's funny. So
That'd probably be the most vile, at least.
But yeah, so last but not least, Laura, I want to ask you, so what is it like being the one only female of the group, like the Fergie to a Black Eyed Peas? Like what's that like for you?
She doesn't pee herself that much.
Yeah. Woo! It's honestly not bad. I feel very lucky to have had 99% positive experiences on the internet with the people who watch us. Like the only negative comments we really got were on Deep Space Waifu, which is like a anime titty shooter that Nick and I did that ended up on like a playlist with some Logan Paul stuff, and
100,000 views.
Found the wrong audience.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Like that wasn't too brutal. And they let me talk. They let me have the Twitter. And yeah, everyone pretty much treats me equally. I don't get comments about my looks, good or bad, which is great. And sometimes people call me funny. And
You are funny. You are. We can guarantee that here. Confirm that here for sure. So the next question is for everyone here. What would you say, in your opinion, is the funniest moment on Best Buds? Go.
Oh, see, I was looking at the question that you had first. I wanted to answer that one.
What question is that?
Whose farts are the smelliest?
Let's save it for the audience.
Let's
You asked me. You said what question? I'm sorry. I'm speaking a different language. English isn't my first language. Sorry.
But yeah, funniest moment on Spuds, go.
So I'll do a little bit of cross promotion here with a channel that's very near and dear to our heart.
I knew where this was going.
You don't, because we were sent a game by this YouTuber. I don't know if you know him. His name is Mo Chocolate, and he wanted us to play Just Dance.
Oh,
yeah, there
God.
he is. He's the guy next to the couch. But while Just Dance was happening, our dear Daniel up there decided to accidentally physically assault the microphone and damage himself.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time we were ever doing anything with an actual camera. So it was just like, it was so perfectly timing that Dan was in the middle of just like frantically flailing like an asshole and then just smashes the camera. You just hear him yell, "Ah, fuck!" And it was so good. It was so good.
That's fair. Are we funny? Do we have funny moments?
No.
Yeah, I can't recall any funny moments. We're a very serious channel. Why would you ask such a question?
Kappa.
Sorry.
Um,
I'm just trying to think of funny moments that I can mention publicly.
Let it out, baby.
Let it out. There's no restrictions here.
I'll
You go
take
first,
it while
Laura.
Nick's
Yeah,
thinking.
Laura, go ahead while Nick's thinking.
Because all that comes to mind for me is every stupid T-shirt we've ever created in TKO with the help of our audience, which is much funnier than we are.
Facts.
And we can brag because some of our audience members, and I think some of us now too, have bought the T-shirts and wear them.
Mm-hmm.
They're so good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'm a threat. Lives rent-free in my head forever.
Yes.
So I don't think we talked about this before, but there was one stream that we had. It was a Pokemon stream, and on this Pokemon stream,
Shut up.
big stream, Kyle didn't have his mic on for the first hour and a half.
Walked away.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's really funny to me. I know it makes you upset, but it's really funny.
Gotta laugh now.
Yeah.
Daniel, what do you got?
Oh yeah. Go on.
So I can't think of like a particular moment, but there's something that I always appreciate, and it's like the four of us are so close, and our humor is very similar, like what we find funny. So like one of us could say the dumbest thing that has nothing to do with what we're streaming, what we're recording, and one of us will just die for hours and just nonstop laugh. And obviously it throws off the whole episode, but it makes it funny, and it kind of like wants us to do more and more. Like it's usually that one. Wait, it's usually that one. That one. Hold on. That one.
The funniest.
That one. Yes, it's the bird. But it's usually something dumb, whether it's a sound or a word, and like that, she'll just be gone for like an hour, and then like you know,
the last time we did Blue's Clues.
Right. If it's an episodic thing, like the episodes will come out each week, like she'll still be laughing in like next week's episode, and it just, I don't know, it helps ease the tension, I guess, in the room, even though there's no tension, but you know what I mean.
Now, as one of your viewers, there's actually three moments that are like hilarious for me. One is when Laura and Kyle played Metal Gear Rising. That was
you did your homework.
Hilarious because I love the episode where Laura is just cutting everything and she can't stop laughing. That was hilarious. And Kyle's like, "No, don't cut the bridge." And Laura's like, "Oh, this bridge?" And while you're cutting the bridge. It was hilarious. And you actually had like your first like serious laugh out loud moment in that episode. You were going through the list of people you could talk to, and you called someone a name, and then you and Nick just lost it. If I had a clip, I'd show it, but I can't. But it's like Tuesday. I'm like, I don't get why it's funny, but you're laughing hard. That's all that matters. And the second is when what was it? Fucking Mousewife. Wow. The way you
Again, Laura, sometimes she just goes on tangents, and it'll just keep fucking going. Me and her love never letting a joke die.
No.
That is like our favorite shit.
And that's why I love the episode, because the more the episode kept going, the funnier you were kidding, Laura. That was like Game Grumps level of improv. That was hilarious, yes. So there's that. And then Dan playing Worms. That episode. Dan playing the worm episode. That was equally hilarious because you just you tried something on a platform and you died.
Sometimes you just, I don't know. I've got nothing to say. Sometimes you just get so frustrated you lose your mind. While we're on that note, though, like we did have one episode filmed, which never came out.
Oh.
But it was probably the angriest I've ever been playing a video game. But the three of them were just dead the entire time because, like, the more I was failing, the angrier I was getting, which made it, I guess, really funny for them. And it was the Mission Impossible episode for you guys, if you forgot.
Right, we lost that in the Great Data Crash.
You lost it? Aww.
It was by far the angriest I have ever been playing a game, but we couldn't stop because, like, it was such a simple task that I could not do, and they were just dying. They're like, no, please don't stop. Please don't stop. I'm like, fuck yeah!
What? It's the fall through the lasers part.
What was so hard about it?
It was literally the opening part of the game. Like you have to like go through the ceiling with the lasers, and you have to like rotate the characters to get to the ground. And I could not do it, and I just lost my mind.
He was so angry, and he hit the point where he didn't have anything else to say. So he just started angrily doing the Mission Impossible theme song for like a good 10 minutes. And it was basically all that was going through my head for the next like 3 weeks. I wasn't even in the episode, but I like had to leave the room because I was dying watching how furious
I still have that going too.
Yeah. Well, also speaking of funny episodes, Kyle was just talking to me about this earlier. We have one coming out very shortly that it came out a lot better than expected. So be on the lookout for some new content for the Best Buds soon.
Yes, if one of my mods or you guys can post a link to your YouTube channel in the chat, that'd be great because we definitely want to watch that. So yeah, so Dan spoiled the surprise here.
That wasn't me. That was Kyle.
Funny. You like the next question is whose farts are the smelliest? Go.
It's Nick.
Kyle.
I do it the most. Nick does it the worst.
Correct.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
That's fair, because Nick does it, and then he just stands up and then sits back down.
Yeah.
Well,
or he like
waits
does
till
it,
the
walks
perfect
away,
moment.
and doesn't tell us.
He waits until someone's behind him on the stairs.
Cheese.
It's as soon as he starts going up a narrow stairwell is when he'll fart, and someone's right behind him. And he perfectly times it to try and end my life. And like, I get that I deserve it because over the years, the magnitude of farts that I've thrown at him, I deserve it. But I think the Geneva Convention outlawed everything Nick's got to show, and he still does it. Someone stop him.
Nikki, do you have a comeback?
They're right.
Yeah.
There's no arguing it.
It's true. Look at
Queen and Kyle, those two are gas factories. But like, maybe I would say once every month, it gets. They'll just give me something with cheese in it, and I'm not lactose, but cheese.
Nick lacks toast and tolerance.
And butt cheese. He said butt cheese. We can't ignore that.
I'm crying.
But yeah, so moving away from a flagellance, my next question is, what are some of the upcoming games you plan on playing on YouTube and streaming on Twitch?
Thank you, Amber. Appreciate your support, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, they subscribed. So I'll give a little spoiler as to what Dan was saying before. With the episode's going to come out soon. Is that we did some Switch Sports. With Laura and Dan specifically was the episode that was murderous. Yeah, Laura's already dying, but that's what we just recorded that Dan was talking about. That just came out really, really well, and that's what we have coming out pretty soon. I would imagine in the next couple of weeks.
I hope so.
Laura, you did with these.
I mean, it really depends on what the editor is feeling. He's a lazy fuck.
That's true.
It's true.
Very true.
Yeah.
There's so
We're
much.
trying to replace him, but also we're all lazy.
Yeah.
Now, are there any upcoming games you want to stream on a Twitch, like that one cat game coming out this month?
That's what
I really want to play Stray. We don't have good equipment though.
Can't handle it?
Real talk. The computer we have downstairs is running a 660 Ti, which I know to some people is a very good card. But when you're streaming from that sort of setup, and you need a processor that is not, what is it, like, I think I have a quad core in there, and it's like 2.1 gigahertz?
Okay, we can
It's
stream
not-
it on my upstairs computer, and you guys can all sit on my lap.
I mean, that is an option. Dan has a much better computer than the downstairs computer.
So is an Etch-a-Sketch.
That's pretty true. But one of the nice things is, like they were saying before, we have the ability to stream from our personal homes now. Like Dan can stream from his computer. I have access to stream from my PS5. So those are options. However, I'm going to have beaten Stray 3 times before we have the chance to start it.
Also true.
It's a game
Well,
about
still
a
do it.
kitty cat wandering the city. That's all I've ever wanted to be, is a kitty cat.
That's all you need, yes. Everybody wants to be a cat because a cat's the only cat who knows where it's at.
Exactly. When I grow up, I'm gonna be a kitty cat. Take my words.
Now, I'm gonna throw something out there as an ambush to my fellow Spuds.
If it's a
because there's
shoe, I'm
something-
gonna leave because I'm a cat.
Shut up. Because there's a game that we should have streamed long ago that we do. Because we had a streak going of streaming all the main series Zelda games, and we stopped on Wind Waker because we couldn't decide because everybody wanted to be part of it, and then it just kind of never happened. So I'm saying it right now. I want to do that sometime soon.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Yes. I would love that. Especially with Breath of the Wild 2 coming out next year.
Yes.
You gotta. For real, yes.
Good timing.
And
We tried to record Breath of the Wild. I think it was just me and Dan, and the episodes just came out terribly because that's not a game that can be recorded.
Yeah,
Like,
it was just
it
so
has to be
quiet.
streamed.
Yeah, we were quiet for a lot of it because we were just like exploring, trying to figure things out, and had no idea what we're doing yet.
All right.
That's fair.
Now, I know this is a big meme in the Best Buds community and stuff, but I will ask again so we get some verbal confirmation. When is the next episode of Cuphead coming on YouTube or Twitch streaming? When is it? Let me know, please.
Hold
Inquiring
on.
minds want to know.
Let me contact my editor while we're live on Twitch. Hold on.
Yep.
Excuse me,
Well,
Nick.
when are you coming to visit us? I want to play with you.
Well, I don't roll that way, buddy. Sorry, but if you're talking about video games, yes. Whenever MagFest is coming next year, which
Kyle won't be at MagFest, unfortunately. He's not a big convention boy.
Well, maybe we can meet up beforehand then.
Yeah.
Figure something out.
That's fair.
I was gonna say, as for the next time we're streaming Cuphead, today is the 1st. So just for you, Mo, we'll do.
Count your fingers.
Really quick.
Use your fingers.
How does September 31st sound?
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Perfect.
I'll take it. Live. You heard it here live on Twitch, everybody. That's gonna come out.
September 31st.
Correct.
Wink, wink. But yeah, so next question is, now do you guys have any plans for solo content, like having your own separate YouTube channel or Twitch streams, or do you plan on remaining as a group for the foreseeable future?
I would like to have a solo channel. I want to go into VTubing really bad, but it's a scary and expensive habit.
I can see that.
I would also like Nick to go solo, so I don't have to deal with him anymore.
That would actually be very beneficial for the channel if I left.
Nick will
I
appreciate
am
us.
my. Sorry,
True.
you first, hon.
No, I was gonna say Nick will learn to appreciate us, and he'll come crawling back.
She's right though.
I mean, we pretty much just plan to do most things together. We've kind of
I agree.
made an effort to only do like no one really goes on and just streams by themselves. Like we've all thought about it and things like that. But I think we've all come to the conclusion that we're all pretty much lost without each other. Like, and even as into a game as we may be, or as inside and out as we may know it, I don't know that any of us are at the point where we feel like we could, do what you do, and be able to just stream something by ourselves and be able to carry a show. Like, as much as I love Pokemon, which is desperately, and I could just go on and stream and just play through a whole game, I don't think I could be entertaining for long enough without someone to play off of.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us have such good rapport with each other. Like, you could take any of the four of us and plop them together in a room and you have fantastic chemistry. Even if the relationships are different and it's different kind of chemistry, we can all play off each other so well. And we've all kind of grown to use each other as a crutch in making content like that.
Unless it was 7 years ago on April Fool's Day. when Nick just leaves me high and fucking dry in the middle of an episode. So I had to record with myself. Yeah, I literally started recording with myself and made up a secondary Dan character, and we talked for 40 minutes.
Yeah, Dan.
I was told
Dan-
it was hysterical. I was asleep.
That was Duck Dodgers.
Well, hey, my next question, I think Dan knows the answer to. What is the angriest moment you've had on the show? But Dan, go ahead and like wash your eye or something, man, so you can like. I'm worried about your eyes there, buddy. So since we all know you had the biggest rage moment on the show, I think we'll ask the other spuds while you go wash the sunscreen off your eyes. So
I'm good. It'll fall out eventually.
You're good.
Yeah, you know my angriest moment, but I'd love to hear the others for sure.
I'm gonna assume it was that jumping game that came out recently, where you had to jump on the platforms. Like you broke a controller. Like what?
He didn't break it. He just spiked it.
He found something else to throw that was nearby.
It was the
But yes,
remote.
Dan
I
playing
think.
Jump King was very, very good.
Never again.
Let's see. For everyone else's rage moments, I think, mine wasn't really rage. It was more angry focus. The first time I was doing the genocide route on Undertale, and the first time I had to fight Sans, just because we had such a limited time to record, like I had to try that for like at least an hour, and then I had to wait a whole other week to do it again because I didn't want to train off screen because that's boring. And I just had to like I had like carried over rage and determination, Undertale joke, just running through me for like a week and a half to 2 weeks, and it was so good. And I loved it so much, and I'm sad that I can't like recreate that and just like get a first experience with that again, because that's a very special video game moment for me. Nick and Laura.
Nick?
I was gonna say Laura was probably Switch Sports.
It might be. But I think before that, our first series, Mario Lost Levels, I had a meltdown at the end of it.
Did.
Because I'm so bad at platformers. That's why I'm never in any of the games that have anything to do with that. Because I got furious. And there were 5 of us playing at that time. And I just lost my mind. I went on a Laura grade rant.
I gotta watch this episode.
It was bad.
No,
It's like 12 episodes in. They're hard to watch, and again, the microphone quality is trash. But you can hear me screaming. So
yeah, and if you
on top of that,
if you ever hear us joke about not being good at jumping, that's why. It was because of that game.
Gotcha.
And on top of that, we had 5 people on the channel at the time. As I said before, we had Sam with us, who now does all of our art assets and still very much involved. But we were all recording that game, and we all did it together. And we were recording in our original base, which was inside Nick's like actual personal bedroom. So we were all basically sitting directly on top of each other, playing on a janky Retron 5.
Wow.
Trying to play Mario Lost Levels. And it was at that moment we realized that we all suck at platformers, Laura especially, but we'll get there. But yeah, we were all having a bad time with that. And Laura just took it to another level.
Alrighty.
everyone.
Alrighty.
Nick?
Your turn, Nick.
My rage quit moment.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I get mad at everything.
Cuphead. It was Cuphead, right?
It's very possible that it was Cuphead, but you have no proof.
Nick, do you want me to insert an out-of-the-box answer that
Go
could
ahead.
work for both you and Laura especially?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is less like anger at an in-game thing. So we went through a nice phase where we were playtesting games for people. We would either do key mailer, or people like indie people would send us their games just to get a quick review off of. And there was one game that I won't mention because I don't want to slander anybody.
I don't want to blow them down. The game's probably finished by now.
I don't care. But they sent us a game to play, and on at least 5 different occasions, Nick and Laura tried to record this game, and it would find one fantastical way to break every single time they tried to do it. And Nick was like going back and forth with these people on emails, like trying to tell them exactly what was going on and what bugs were happening. And they kept like wondering, like, when's the video coming out? And it was just like so horrifically broken that it was just unplayable. The videos were untenable. Like it was just a disaster. And we still like use it as a bit of an in-joke to this day, not in episodes, obviously, because we don't want to slander anybody. But there's just the fury of Nick and Laura was pretty boundless at that one.
Yeah, it was pretty bifurious. Stop
Kyle, I'm surprised you didn't say Hubert for yourself, though.
I forgot about Hubert.
I was so happy while I was so mad.
Was it?
That's probably my favorite Best Buds episode in general. Laura and I played the Nintendo version of Qbert, and while Qbert is a very responsive and fun game in arcade, playing with the D-pad on a Nintendo is an absolute disaster. And Laura and I were just like screaming. It was a short episode, and it was requested to us because we were doing a series at the time where we had other YouTubers suggest games that either they thought we'd get pissed off at or wouldn't be able to beat. And things like that, and someone shared that with us and wanted us to try Qbert for the NES, and it was
I think it was Red, if I remember.
No, I believe it was the Gaming Historian.
Maybe
it was.
You have to go watch and find out. We put the video at the beginning.
Oh no, it was no
Re-Res.
It was Shane Re-Res. Yep.
Yeah.
But that game on NES is just unplayable, and Laura and I were just screaming our heads off, and it's like my favorite episode.
Yeah, it's rough.
Alrighty. So my next question is, if you guys could switch your lives with one Let's Play channel on YouTube, who would it be and why?
When you say switch lives, do you mean like
for one day?
Viewer count and audience, or do you mean I get to become that person instead?
For one day, yes.
Markiplier, because he's fucking hot.
Ooh.
No further questions.
It could be all media.
What?
Does it have to be YouTube, or can it also be like Twitch and such?
Sure, yeah, we'll go with Twitch also.
Because it came up yesterday while Nick was making a joke. I would switch places with Amaranth because I would love this. So that sounds amazing. Pay me to be in a hot tub. This is everything I've ever wanted.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I can see that. Yes.
Yeah. Dan Laura.
I'll go Jacksepticeye because he lives in a country with rights.
Oh!
That's true.
Mic drop. Mic drop.
Bam.
Best answer.
I mean,
that's the best answer in Motown history. Wow. Well, that's going to
Very
that's
good.
going to a TikTok for sure.
Daniel.
I don't know. I have to think about it. It's a tough question. I'm also really distracted because my left eye is falling out of my head. But I like a lot of the I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Because I'm trying to I don't watch a whole ton of YouTube. And if I do, it's with Kyle. And Kyle and I watch a lot of wrestling content on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So Kyle could probably help me with the answer for it, but there's one group of people that have a huge following that ask each other a lot of old school wrestling trivia questions, and they have a lot of audience participation, dropping questions in their chats and stuff. So I would like to do that and have a giant interaction with fans trying to do some wrestling stuff. That'd be kind of fun.
Alrighty.
Kyle, if you'd like to share names, you can, but I can't off the top of my head remember.
I don't actually know which channel you're talking about right now.
It's the What Culture people. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I thought you were going to say that you wanted to be that guy that goes to foreign lands and then speaks the language perfectly, and then he offends people by speaking perfectly.
Shauma NYC.
That's very Daniel.
Yeah,
Dan
Shauma's
loves him.
awesome. I'm a huge fan of him, and I'm very intrigued by the fact that he's just a regular dude from New York, but can speak 40 or 50 different languages and interact with all these people from different cultures and religions. I think it's awesome. So I can
Alrighty.
switch to that. Good
Nice.
call.
Nice. So my second to last question is 2023 is going to be a massive year for gaming. I don't know if you guys paid attention to what's coming out next year. There's a lot of big hitters coming out next year. So my question is, what are some of the big games next year you're most excited for?
Half-Life 3. Oh, sorry, just kidding.
I mean,
I don't
the
even
game
know
I'm
what's
most
coming
looking
out
forward
this
to.
year, to be honest.
The game I'm most looking forward to is Dragon Age. I get really jacked up whenever there's a Dragon Age game coming out.
All right.
So any time that content, and they even have a show coming out. That's later this count. But yeah, anytime there's a Dragon Age game coming out, I get very excited about it. And I'm looking forward to getting more details about it because I haven't really released much.
Breath of the Wild 2 for me, for sure.
Oh, hell
100%.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
don't really know what games are coming out this year, to be honest.
Next
I
year.
don't either.
Sorry, next year.
Yeah.
Then make one up,
99% of the time I learn about a game, it's usually a month or two before it comes out. I
one up.
hate to say it, but like I stay away from like a lot of the like upcoming game news because they always will be like, "Oh, it comes out in March," and then I never hear about it again until 3 years later.
That's true.
So like one of the things I like to do is I like to wait until it's like, "Oh, it's ready if you want to see it." And I'm like, "All right, then I will judge a game." Like Stray, we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Wasn't that supposed to come out when the PS5 came out? Like that was like a tech demo for the PS5?
No, I think it was announced the year the PS5 came out, but there wasn't any release dates.
Yeah. But it's just like with a lot of stuff like that, I try to stay away from a lot of the gaming like coming soon media. Like I do get excited for all the Nintendo Directs, and then usually they're like 2 months from now, they'll be like, "This is what's happening." Like pending the port on the Switch isn't going to be awful. I would love to play Persona 3 again. It's been a really long time.
Yes.
I know it's not a new game, but
Is that a direct port, did they announce, or are they doing something to it?
they're doing Persona 3 Portable, so the PSP version.
Laura?
Yeah, I'm kind of with Nick, where I have no idea what's going on anymore because I'm an old person. But Kyle said,
I don't know what like that, but yeah.
I'm with that because I've played them all and I love them.
Any game where you play as a cat, you'll be excited for. That's for sure. So the last
Back to
question is for everyone watching, because you have some of your members from your channel on Twitch and YouTube watching right now. What do you want to announce to them about upcoming projects, upcoming videos, upcoming streams, merch maybe, or convention appearances? You can let them know right now.
Damn, we got any conventions coming up?
So, a combination of me and probably just me will be at some of these, but Nick, Laura, and myself will be at Retro World Expo coming up in August in Hartford, Connecticut. We will be, I think, at least for one day at Connecticon, also in Hartford, Connecticut. We'll be in MagFest in Maryland in January. We have Retro GameCon up in Syracuse, New York in November. And in terms of the shows for this year, I think that's it for travel.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think we're planning any big streams, charity events. I think our schedule is as normal: Monday, Tuesday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday releases, and Thursday.
Ooh. Well, no, there's one that I'm looking forward to, but it doesn't come out for a while. They're making a new Jackbox party pack. I think that's September.
Yes.
There you
We
go.
love a Jackbox stream. Like, I can play Jackbox every day today. Other than that, there's also theoretically the new Monster game, or sorry, not Monster game, Monster Road Trip coming out. We don't know when that's coming. Eventually, I guess. That one I'm looking forward to doing. We much prefer doing YouTube videos instead of streams for those.
Yeah.
Because just a little more organized to have 1 hour, 1 hour, and 1 hour instead of let's sit here for 4 hours and scream to the microphone. We like to have a pizza break every now and then.
Gotcha. Now,
Pizza.
have y'all? Because I'm trying to remember. Have y'all done like those choose your own adventure type games like The Walking Dead or Detroit Become Human or Heavy Rain?
We love it. We love a Telltale style game.
Yes,
Yeah.
we
Very
love
good.
games.
Jason,
Absolutely.
so any plans to stream or play on YouTube one of those games?
Yeah, we want to play. Now that you've mentioned it very specifically, we didn't have this plan until I literally just made it. Me and Laura are going to play The Wolf Among Us.
Isn't the second one coming out next year?
Yes, it is.
There's a second one.
I'm excited for
There's
it.
something you can look forward to coming out next year, Laura.
Wolf Among
There you
Us
go.
2 next year.
That's the one.
No, we like
So-
those games a lot, though.
Quick story. Me and Laura played that game once. Well, we played it more than once. But one time we decided just to go through. I think it was Batman we did.
Yes.
No, it was
It was Wolf Among Us.
Was
Yeah.
it was the Wolf Among Us? All right.
Yeah.
So we literally just did every option that we could as ... So we went through the entire game set out the protagonist unless it made us do anything otherwise.
Yeah, it was silence or violence. That was our motto.
Nice.
That is hilarious.
That's a shirt.
That is
I love
hilarious.
Another one that I'll throw out into the abyss right now. And Dan, it's another thing that Dan and I grew up with. We grew up playing all the Monkey Island nonstop, and I know they just released the trailer for the newer one coming out. And I assume that, I mean, Dan and I we may play it on our own also, but hopefully we can get it going on the channel, and hopefully people would be as interested in seeing it as we would be in playing it, because I love those games. Just the quality of comedy is top notch, and I love those kind of games.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
Just amongst the four of us, like we really do just like the adventure games, point and click, or just regular, like Kyle and Nick and Laura said earlier, like Telltale stuff, Wolf Among Us, Batman, the Tales from the Borderlands, Monkey Island, Serious Sam, stuff like that. We really enjoy because we get to do it together, and sometimes our decisions don't always mesh, so it involves lots of yelling sometimes, but it's fun.
Alrighty, well, we are going to wrap things up with a fan favorite section of the show called Top 10 Questions on Motown Downtown, where I will ask my guests 10 questions courtesy of Inside the Actor Studio. So, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Ready.
Sure.
All right.
Can I do this with one eye closed?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
My first question is, what is your favorite word?
Fuck.
Pizza. No, the gym.
Booba.
Nice.
What was yours, Nikki?
Still cunt. Cunt.
Gotcha.
C-U-N-T. Or cuck. I like cuck a lot.
Yeah.
A nice
You like
cunt
cock.
cock. Nice. So, what is your least favorite word?
Nick.
Phlegm.
Kyle.
Laura's just panties. She was quiet, but yeah, that can't be lost in the abyss.
Dan?
Phlegm.
Alrighty.
Snallergies. Mine is snallergies.
What makes you happy?
My cats.
Cat.
Peace and quiet.
Nothing. Sorry. My friends.
Aw.
Gross. Soup.
Soup.
Okay.
Soup makes me happy.
too.
What makes you upset?
Nick.
Laura.
Nick.
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 Hi, Laura. I meant Nick. You look the same.
Yeah, we do.
What sound or noise makes you happy?
The PS1 startup noise.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out channel music.
Yeah.
The sound of the buzzer when my food is ready.
Nice.
What?
Oh, Kyle took the best one though.
It's quick fire, Nick.
Shit.
Think of something.
Sample leopard.
Nikki, you could say the intro ding to Best Buds. Do.
Laura made that actually. It does make me happy. I gotta hear it every time I edit an episode,
Yep.
but it still makes me smile.
We'll
Yep.
go with that then. Okay. And Laura, did you give your answer too?
Oh, it's the little wee like boop boop.
Now, what sound or noise do you hate?
The
Nick.
sound of people who don't turn off their text tones, like in public, and they're having a long text conversation with someone, so you just keep hearing their phone go off. Oh, that's
Yikes.
infuriating.
You know,
Yeah.
It's mostly Nick also, but
that's
yeah.
funny
Yeah.
because my answer was very similar to yours. It's when people are in public on speakerphone talking to someone.
Mm,
I can't stand it.
yes.
Yeah.
Mine are the loud yelps that Daniel makes before certain episodes.
That is awful.
Yes.
Sometimes we have to test the mic. What do you want?
Not bad.
Something normal.
When Nick clears his throat when he goes. I hate that.
Oh,
yeah.
Alrighty, Best Buds, what is your favorite curse word?
I mean, I already said fuck.
Nick, you can say it again.
You sure?
Go
Don't
ahead.
get mad.
Mo says
Cunt.
it's okay.
So we have
Laughing.
cunt
I
and
like words with a hard C.
so we have cunt and fuck. How about you, Dan?
No, I said cunt. It's just powerful.
All right.
It is. That's the only word that holds meaning anymore.
That's true.
Correct.
The cunt lover is nice. So, what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Say that again.
That's what our channel name is now.
Cunt lovers. My question
Yeah.
was,
Cunt appreciators.
what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I really do enjoy being a school counselor, but I think I could really get into the whole being paid to be in a hot tub. So I'm gonna stick with that one.
All right.
Mhm.
I'd love to get into IT work, but it's a rough field.
I'd like to be a chef.
Yes.
Nice.
I'd be a food blogger, so I can do less work, more food.
That's the best job ever. Now,
I agree.
what profession would you not like to attempt?
Anything with running. Period.
Yeah.
That's it.
Gym trainer, no sweating. No moving.
I don't think I can ever be a teacher. Sorry, Dan, and somewhat Kyle.
No, you could not do that. You would quit.
I don't think I can handle that.
Mm-mm.
I would never, ever hit someone else's child, but if I was a teacher, I definitely would hit a child.
Yeah.
So all of us except Kyle have worked retail before for many, many, many years, but I would never want to do retail again, especially during the holiday time, ever.
It gets easier.
Now, last question is, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Unlimited
Daniel?
soup, salad, and breadsticks.
Damn it, Nick.
Are you guys best buds? I've heard of you.
Yeah. I just want
I
him
was
to
gonna say
say,
here's some soup.
here's some soup. I just want him to say, sup, baby, and slap me on the back.
One
That's
more
exciting.
round of applause for the illustrious members of the Best Buds. Thank you all so much for coming out and being my last guest for July. Thank you very much. Give us some departing words for the audience before we go.
Subscribe
to us
Mo
on the
Chocolate.
Everythings.
No.
One at a time.
Laura said it louder.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
And
Laura.
first. I said subscribe to Mo Chocolate.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That especially.
Because
He's
he
better than
deserves
us.
it for
He sure
dealing with
does.
us for over an hour.
He's
He
much
has.
more hardworking and consistent than we are.
That's
so,
true.
yes, do
Correct.
Talented, entertaining.
that. Attractive.
And go-
Handsome, yeah.
Go ahead
Nice
and
hair.
go ahead and plug your YouTube one more time before we go.
YouTube.com/bestbuds. Also Twitch.tv/bestbuds. We have Twitter.com/bestbudsplay. We have a Discord. Come chat with us in there. We have other social media that aren't worth mentioning.
And when is the next time we can watch you live on a Twitch?
Thursday.
Thursday night we'll be
8 a.m.
we will be playing BioShock.
There you go.
Okay.
Nice.